Alright, I just got back from seeing Black Panther, and I thought it was fantastic. And I guess it counts as science fiction, whatever. I mean, they have, like, that magic vibranium that can do basically anything, but it's not magic, it's science, whatever. It's magic. No, I thought it was a great movie. I was especially impressed with the visuals throughout the entire thing. Like, a couple of the fights earlier on were hard to follow as far as what you were seeing happening, but I think that was okay because the fights later that were even more important were easier to follow. I don't know. Maybe I was just kind of, you know, getting into it, if that makes sense. I was like, oh, I haven't getting into kind of the how to pay attention to a movie on a big screen thing, if that makes any sense at all. No, I thought it was great. It was a beautiful movie, like, visually. It was, like, is his name Chadwick Boseman? He is one of the prettiest people I think I've ever seen. So that, you know, I mean, that helps. Oh god, the costuming was fantastic. The basic concept of Wakanda is great, and I love that the movie was just, it was about the one thing I feel like everybody immediately thinks when you think of Wakanda, because you're like, okay, so this is highly technologically advanced country nobody's heard of. You know, that they're hiding their technological advancement. Do they ever feel kind of bad about the fact that the world is a shithole? So, yeah, so that was the whole thing where, on the one hand, the bad guy was like, hey, Wakanda, it sucks that you've never done anything to help anybody, but I have also decided that the way to fix this is for me to take over as king and then just send weapons to all of these people I planted in, like, other countries, and they're just going to take over the world. And it was interesting because because Killmonger and T'Challa were kind of coming to the same realization. You know, both coming to this conclusion that Wakanda needs to actually do something in the world beyond its borders, but they were coming, you know, in completely different directions. Man, I actually, like, teared up at the end when Killmonger died. I thought that was just really, he was a really tragic character. Like, he was obviously kind of a terrible person, but I just felt really bad for him. It was just, like, really sad, I mean, the movie was, like, a little bit predictable in some beats that I just completely saw coming, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, I mean, movies tell stories, and there's maybe only so many ways you can tell stories, and as long as you do a good job. And I loved Shuri, the little sister. She was hilarious and fantastic, and I loved how, you know, T'Challa, you know, he's the king, but he's got his family and his friends, and they all kind of, you know, don't let him get too full of himself, you know, give him a little shit. I was kind of sad that Andy Serkis's character got killed off fairly early. Although I guess, like, that was, like, halfway through the movie, but still. I was like, oh man, because I just think he's so much fun. Just, like, being terrible. But I guess it makes sense, because obviously Killmonger's the real big villain, and you kind of got to get rid of this distraction so that he can step up on the scene. Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. And I thought the solution in the end of him, of T'Challa starting this Wakandan outreach that his sister and, sort of girlfriend, who's played by Lupita, Ngoyo, I don't know how to say her name, I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say her name out loud, somehow. Anyway, are gonna help run, and starting it, you know, at the place where his father made that mistake of leaving his nephew behind, in Oakland. And yeah, it was just like a good story about T'Challa becoming king and taking on, you know, a new future for Wakanda while still respecting the past and stuff. And you gotta wonder, though, what's gonna happen in the future since Killmonger burned all, like, the little Black Panther plants. Like, what are they gonna do about that? Because T'Challa ate the last one or whatever, so it's like, you know, what are they gonna do about that in the future? But yeah, it was really good. I would definitely recommend it. Obviously, I feel like everybody's gonna go see this. As we all know, it's good. And then we got a bunch of trailers for stuff I didn't even know was fucking coming out, so that's cool. But yeah, was there anything else? Yeah, no, I don't know. It was really good. It was... yeah, it was really good. It was different, I thought, than a lot of the other, like, MCU movies. But yeah, I like T'Challa a lot, and I'm really looking forward to Infinity Wars. Although, I guess part of the issue with such a big, huge movie like that is everybody's going to be in it, which means that nobody will really get that much focus, so... but still, it'll be fun. But yeah, so go see Black Panther. It's really great.